Hello everybody and welcome to the last part, at least for now, of What If Ben 10 was in the MCU. If you enjoyed this series and want to see more Marvel related videos, make sure to leave a like and some suggestions in the comments below. I would also ask you guys to join my Discord, link to that in the description. Join to talk to me and other friends like yourself. It's fun! Also, if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, there will be a link in the description below to a playlist where you can watch them. Or you can just go to my channel. If you're new, why not consider subscribing? It's free, you just have to hit that big red like button. Now let's get started. In the previous two episodes, we saw how a Ben 10 movie would theoretically work in the MCU. This part focuses more on an overview of how Ben fits in the MCU as a whole. We start with a Civil War movie. It goes pretty much the same. Cap and the Avengers try stopping Crossbones' group of mercenaries from stealing a biological weapon. Crossbone manages to distract Cap and tries to blow himself up. Scarlet Witch saves him by sending Crossbones into the air, killing a group of people. This sparks an international incident and tensions arise, which culminates in the Sokovia Accords. At the signing of the Accords, the UN is bombed by Helmut Zemo, who is pretending to be Bucky Barnes. This frames Buck and causes everyone to go after him. Bucky is hiding in Bucharest and is found and pursued by the Black Panther, Captain America, Falcon, and a SWAT team. Cap is trying to help his friend out while T'Challa wants revenge. War Machine intervenes and they are all taken into custody. Zemo manages to get into the compound and brainwash Bucky to attack the compound, further incriminating him. Bucky manages to escape, with Cap and Falcon finding him soon after, reconnecting with him. The teams, one team wanting to stop the Winter Soldiers now, and the other wanting to bring the other team to justice. Both teams start gathering up and assembling their troops, with Hawkeye breaking one out of the compound, going to San Francisco to recruit Scott, and taking a detour to Bellwood before going to Germany to help Cap out. In the airport, Cap and Sam and Bucky step out of the Volkswagen, and Clint steps out of the van, greeting Cap. Wanda comes out too. Steve says, "You know, I wouldn't have called if I hadn't had any other choice." Clint responds, "Hey man, you're doing me a favor. Besides, I owe a debt." Steve turns to Wanda and says, "Thanks for having my back." Wanda says, "It was time to get off my ass anyway." Steve asks, "What about the new recruits?" Clint opens the van door while saying, "Well, one needs some coffee, the other has been playing video games the entire time. Otherwise, they're good to go." The van opens up and Scott wakes up. Scott gets out of the van and freaks out because Captain America is there. Ben finishes his level of the Sumo Slammers game and sets it aside once Scott is finished freaking out. He gets up and shakes Cap's hand, saying, "It's a pleasure to meet you, sir." Cap says, "Likewise, son. I followed a bit of your adventures." He moves so he faces both of the recruits and says, "I trust you know why you're here." Scott says something about psycho assassins, and Ben adds Soviet Union stuff. Cap says, "We're outside of the law on this one, so if you come with us, you're wanted men." Scott says, "Yeah, what else is new?" Cap turns to Ben and asks, "Ben, you in?" Ben asks, "Are lives in danger?" Cap nods, saying they are. This Jack and says, "Yeah, I'm in." The airport's security then calls for an evacuation. Cap says, "Suit up." A couple of moments later, Cap steps into the airfield with Iron Man and War Machine stopping him. They get some backup with Spidey stealing the shield. Team Cap locates the Quinjet and the fight starts. Ben asks, "What do you want me to do?" Cap answers, "Keep them busy." Ben opens up the Omnitrix and says, "Come on, accelerate." He hits it, turning to Spider-Monkey and says, "This'll do." In the fight, Spider-Man goes after Bucky and Falcon. He jumps through the window, hitting Falcon away. Bucky tries to punch him, but Spidey catches it, saying, "You have a metal arm? That's awesome, dude!" He's webbed away, but with the web pulling him back. Ben says, "Oh, you get out of here. I'll keep him busy." Bucky asks, "Is that a monkey?" And he starts running away. Spidey says, "Not cool, man. Webs are my thing. If you start doing this, I'll sue." Ben retorts, "Too bad, I was here first." They start duking it out like spider people, with Ben having the advantage for a moment because of the extra arms, but Peter quickly adapts, getting the upper hand and pushing him back. Ben takes the distance and hits the Omnitrix, turning into Heat Blast. The fight starts over again with Ben trying to hit Peter. Peter, however, because of his agility, keeps evading while trying to come up with a plan. He spots a fountain and gets an idea. He lands in front of it and screams, "Hey, Charcoal Man!" Ben shoots a fire blast at the fountain, melting it. Peter, quickly now having easier access to the pipes, breaks the pipes, pouring them at Heat Blast. As the water comes out, Ben says, "Oh crap." He is then hit by the water pressure, hitting him against the wall, both turning off his flames and knocking him out. Peter quickly webs Ben up as he transforms and Peter goes to follow Falcon on the Winter Soldier to apprehend them. Ben wakes up, however, turns into Diamond Head to break the webs, and then goes join the others from the team. You know, when both teams charge at each other to take each other out. Ben helps them out, but the fight still stays at a standstill until Ant-Man causes a distraction, turning into Giant Man. Ben says, "I see what you got in mind." He hits the Omnitrix, turning into Way Big, helping Giant Man with the distraction. They all try to take the two giants down, at least those who can. During the fight, Peter gets an idea, using the Empire Strikes Back attack against Giant Man. They execute it, taking him down. They're going to repeat it again against Ben, but the Omnitrix start ticking down. Ben says, "Not now." He turns back to human, falling to the ground with some crates breaking his fall, knocking him out. The movie mostly goes the same as the regular version because of plot reasons. I can't change things too much, or the MCU itself wouldn't make much canonical sense. This is only supposed to be a fun addition of the Ben 10 universe into this one. Ben is taken to the raft with the other members of Team Cap, and restrained so he can't hit the watch, like with a straitjacket, like Wanda is. After a while, Mac shows up and gets Ben out as long as he signs the Accords. That's the deal he made with Thunderbolt Ross. The movie ends as the regular version, with the rest being broken out by Cap. Now, the Captain Marvel movie would be a bit different. I'm doing this one before Infinity War because I want to do Endgame and Infinity War together. This movie, I would include Grandpa Max with a minor role, working alongside S.H.I.E.L.D. for a bit, them being a space department. It would also feature Paradox giving a warning about something, which leads Max to help in the final moments of the movie, with them managing to help the Skrulls out, thanks to that help. Now, Infinity War. Right after Peter appears and starts swinging to the donut in the sky, we transition to Ben, who is in Bellwood, fighting some minor villain, let's say Captain Nemesis. Ben gets a communication from Max saying, "Ben, what are you doing?" Ben answers, "Just taking care of Captain Jerkwad over here." I mean, such a Captain America knockoff. It's painful. Captain Nemesis attacks Ben, Ben transforms into Swampfire and evades the attack. Max says, "Well, take care of it quickly. The Earth is under attack again." Ben shoots some vines into the ground, restraining Nemesis. He then says, "On my way." He switches to Jet Ray and leaves, jetting over. He arrives as Ebony Maw is getting Doctor Strange onto the ship, pushing him off of the tractor beam. Ebony Maw says, "An aerophibian? How surprising." Ben sets Doctor Strange on the ground and hits the Omnitrix and turns into Humongosaur. Spidey says, "Oh, it's the alien guy." Ben says, "Spider guy, catch up." Spidey says, right, Squidward is trying to steal the necklace from that wizard." Ben says, "Okay, keep him safe, then I'll take care of this creep." Spidey asks, "You sure?" And Ben says, "I deal with aliens for a living." Ebony Maw says, "The wielder of the Omnitrix. Interesting." Humongosaur tries to punch Ebony, but he uses his weird alien abilities to push him away, restraining him in concrete. Ben breaks out quickly and lashes at Ebony again as he tries to get to Spidey. Ebony sighs and, using his abilities, throws Ben pretty far away, landing him in the river. Spidey swings away as fast as he can, but Ebony catches him, beaming Doctor Strange onto the ship, leaving the planet. As in the main version of events, Iron Man and Spider-Man manage to get on board. Just in this version, Ben gets in there too, using jet ray to sneak in. They take care of Ebony, sending him into space, going to Titan. There they meet the Guardians. This time around, before a fight can start, Ben recognizes Star-Lord and introduces them. Star-Lord asks, how do you know who I am? Ben says, I'm a plumber. I read the NovaCorp files. Quill asks, you clean toilets? Hard to believe the NovaCorps would give you that information. Drax says, plumbers are police, Quill. Ben then introduces the Guardians to the Avengers, with them talking to each other. They prepare for the battle that is to come, with Strange looking at the possible futures, seeing about 7,302 futures, with one alternate win. It's half of the regular one because Ben is so powerful that they need less versions because of the fight can last longer. When Thanos arrives, they try to defeat him. Ben uses a barrage of attacks using Feedback, Echo Echo, Accelerate, Wildvine, Pesky Dust, and Lodestar to get the gauntlet off. The thing is that Thanos still mentions Gamora and freaks Quill out, just they are about to take the gauntlet. Ben goes to grab it and takes it away, but the Omnitrix time is out. Thanos gets the upper hand and takes the team out quickly. Doctor Strange goes to Ben using the Time Stone to recharge the watch quicker. Ben goes into attack as Iron Man faces against Thanos, but he sees Paradox nodding no, so he stops. Thanos wins the fight against almost killing Iron Man, but Doctor Strange sacrifices the Infinity Stone to save Tony. Thanos then leaves, going to Earth to get the last Infinity Stones. Ben turns into Jet Ray, jetting over to Earth in order to help out there, but he only arrives when Thor fails. He sees Thanos snap. People start fading to dust. Ben sees both Kevin and Gwen, who were fighting in the Battle of Wakanda, turn to dust in front of them, with Gwen managing to hold on a little longer because of her immense power. Of the plumber team, the only survivors are Pierce and Manny, plus Max. Ben falls to his knees with the dust of his cousin in his hands. Cap spots him and comes to comfort him, extending his hand to Ben. Ben reaches out to take it, but as he does, his hand starts turning to dust. Ben looks at his hand in horror and says, "No, please, no!" He starts turning to dust. As he does, the Omnitrix flashes a light saying, "Life compromised." And where Ben was, Alien X now. The movie ends with Ben stuck in this state. For Endgame, things would stay mostly the same, except Ben would be floating in the background, being stuck as Alien X for 5 years, but for him it was more like 9 days. A difference is that instead of a rat freeing Ant-Man from the quantum realm, in this version of events, it's Paradox. Paradox would have a couple of little appearances helping them guide them towards time travel. Only after the snap to bring everyone back, Paradox would go into Alien X, have a conversation with Ben, who is arguing with Bellicus and Serena, trying to go back to normal. Paradox explains that turning into Alien X was the only way to survive the snap, and while the snap was in effect, he couldn't turn back, but now he's free. Ben is then turned back. When the attack on the compound happens by Thanos, Ben turns into Accelerate, giving us a Quicksilver type scene, with Accelerate getting everyone out of the compound safely. Paradox helps Strange assemble the troops, and things go pretty much the same, with just a couple more people taking part in the fight. Ben would also get a scene against Thanos, a rematch in a way. He buys time but fails to defeat him, getting knocked away as Humongosaur, with the sword making him bleed a bit. Tony is still forced to snap his fingers to defeat Thanos. I thought of making this different, but thought it would be too fanfiction-y and unrealistic, because honestly, although Ben has many powerful transformations, Thanos is still a very powerful person, and has an army that can attack Ben if he gets too close. They win the fight. After the fight's over, Paradox offers to take the Infinity Stones back, but Cap says no, that he'll do it. Paradox, knowing what's going to happen, says, I understand. So things end pretty much the same as in the regular version of events. That's where I'm ending this series, at least for now. As I said, there can still be a part 4. I just want to see a couple more Disney Plus shows and a Phase 4 continuity to see how it would fit in. I do hope you all enjoyed this series. I did the best I could, but this type of what if story was honestly harder to do and work out than my regular type that I do. Still, I do hope you all enjoyed. If you did and want more MCU based what ifs, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you want to talk to me and directly discuss things from the MCU or My Hero, then join my Discord. I do hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, everyone, have an